right, we are back with another episode of It's That Easy. It is the national championship game, the last college basketball game of the season. We finally made it, and here are your two teams, UConn and Michigan. Who's going to win? What do they have to do to win? Let's talk about it. So if you're watching, please like the video. I greatly appreciate that. That helps put out the video there so millions and millions of people, or at least another 10 people, can see it. And if you want to subscribe, because after this, we will be going into baseball. So they don't end with this. So go ahead and subscribe. We'd appreciate that as well. But let's get into some college basketball. So if you watched the games last night, because this is Sunday, day before the national championship game, UConn, I had picked Illinois to beat UConn, but I did pick Michigan to beat Arizona. UConn, man, they just came out. They played good defense. They were making threes. They made tons of threes. Illinois it wasn't the same team, at least that I thought I would see, that I saw the last few weeks. And man, UConn really took it to them. They took the lead early and they kept it the entire game. I know it got close, within like 4 points at the end of the game, but yeah, it wasn't. You knew UConn was going to win. And then Michigan, man, somebody opened up the starting gate and said, go. And those guys, I feel like they were up by 15 points in the first 2 minutes of the game. It got as high as 30. It got as low as 17. I think they ended up winning by 18, but unbelievable play. I was telling someone earlier, I had seen Michigan play a little bit throughout the season. I watched them play Duke, and they lost, and I was like, okay, maybe Michigan's not that good. And then after that, they haven't lost again, and they've been destroying people, so I had to flip that and say, you know what, maybe Michigan is really, really good. All right, so, I feel weird telling you the numbers for these two teams because we've done this for weeks and weeks now, and I don't even know if the numbers matter. It's like, this is the game. This is it. It all comes down to this. It's one game. Anything can happen in one game, and that's it. You're the national champion. So, but I will read them because I was just looking at them. So, UConn, they play more of a slower style, hit some three-pointers, play defense. So they score 77 points a game. They only give up 65, so defense is big for them. And when they're on their game, obviously, right, the last couple of weeks I thought they would lose. I thought they'd lose to Duke. I thought they'd lose to Illinois. And they had different plans. And because they played their game and they played it well, they beat those guys. Let's see. They averaged 36 rebounds a game. They're pretty good at three-point shooting. Actually, they've been great at three-point shooting the last couple games. Defensively, they're good at defending the three-pointer. Free throw-wise, average 72. I realize like 75 to 72% is about average for these college basketball teams. And they're grinders, right? The guys they don't try and it's not trying to be a race. They're not trying to, the first one to 100 wins. They're actually trying to play defense, play smart, keep the game slow. Michigan, on the other hand, they score 88 points a game. That's 11 more than what UConn scores. And I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you think about it, it's like 3 points a game, 3 points a minute, I think is what I did the math one time, 3 to 4 points a minute. So 11 points, that's like 4 minutes worth of points. So that's a lot faster. They give up 70 points a game. So they play pretty good defense as well. But I think their defense sometimes is a really good offense. But they're so big. They're big, and they're bigger than UConn in the middle. So good for them. They average 40 rebounds, and that's their bigs right there, which I thought Illinois would do a good job with their bigs, but that was nullified. But Michigan's bigs are bigger and better, obviously. They shoot 37% from three-pointers, so they actually shoot better than UConn. But UConn's been shooting well lately, and they both give about 30% from three-point range. So that's top defense. That's top defense in the country. They shoot free throws a little better, 74%, but it's neither here nor there now, right? Because you could be a great free throw shooter, and it comes down the end of the game. They put the ball in your hand to shoot free throws, and the nerves are too much. You can't make it. So We're going to see what happens. So here's what I'm thinking is like the keys to the game, right? UConn, you know who you so I wrote down like UConn needs to slow the pace down. They want to keep it they don't want it to be a track meet going back and forth. They need to slow it down. They need to play really good defense. Like they need to play their best defensive game of the season in my opinion, which is not impossible. It's just difficult to do. And then they need to continue to shoot lights out from 3-point range. So if they can do that, right, that gives them a chance to win. And you know what it reminds me of? So Iowa played Florida. Florida was the top team, one of the top teams in the country. Iowa had to play a perfect game and slow down the pace and keep it at their numbers there because Florida was like a track meet, right? They'll score a ton of points. And Iowa was able to do that. And it got close there, but then they were able to continue to hit threes, play good defense. But then they tried to do the exact same. They had to play a perfect game to beat Florida, and they did. Then they took that to Illinois. They had to do the exact same thing again, right? Slow it down. Shoot threes. They knew they had to make threes. They had to play good defense, and they couldn't do it, right? It was hard to do that multiple games in a row, to be that perfect, to come out ahead. And Illinois proved to be too much. UConn had to do that against Duke. They had to do it against Illinois. And now they're going to have to do it one more time to beat Michigan. So when I think of that, I think like it's hard to be perfect that many times or to play a perfect game that many times in a row. But you can't get hot. You never know what's going to happen. If you've watched NCAA basketball for any number of years, you know that it's possible to happen. So we'll have to see. Now, Michigan, on the other hand, here's the tough part for those guys. They've been blowing people out the entire tournament, probably actually leading up to the tournament and the entire tournament. And here's the thing for those guys is they're just like they're on a roll. So I don't think in their mind they're thinking, okay, we need to do something different. We need to prepare for this. I hate this term, but it probably goes with this, where they say, if we do what we do well, we'll win the game, right? And that's true. If you do what you do great, if you play good defense, if you run, if you keep or make UConn run, you'll beat them. If your big mans can continue to dominate, big men, you'll beat them as well. And if you continue to shoot threes the way you do, you will dominate. I mean, they'll beat UConn by 20. But if they can't, if something goes different, it's possible that this could be a close game. So the numbered line right now is Michigan minus 6.5 points. Actually, I've seen it 7, and I've also seen it at 6.5. So, it's which one do you want to go with there? And the over-under is 144.5 points. If you think about if these guys score, if Michigan goes out and runs and UConn runs with them, they'll score 160 points total. They'll blow past that. But from the number, the 144.5 points, it makes me think that they think that one team is going to do well, Michigan, and one team is going to struggle scoring, UConn. And because of that, they're saying, 144. So what's 144? That's like an 80 to 60, 82-62 game. Maybe, I guess you could go in the 70s, right? If it's a close game, 72-71 or 74-71. But I don't think that's going to happen. So when I look at those two teams, me personally, I think it's going to be real difficult for UConn to stay playing at that high level against Michigan, because Michigan's really good. I think that Michigan, on the other hand, is just on a roll. Like it's one of those boulders coming down the hill that you just can't stop. And I don't see UConn stopping. Now, UConn's going for their 3rd national championship in 4 years. So if they do, Dan Hurley will be put in those like Bobby Knight, Coach K, kind of names where they're like, this guy is an unbelievable coach. Because if they win, it will be a great game plan. He'll have to do some things during the game to stop some runs, to, substitutions that are going to work, calling some plays out of timeouts that are going to work. So he will be great. If they win, Michigan, on the other hand, right, their coach hasn't won a national championship, so they're going for their first one, and he's going for his first national championship. Sometimes that holds you back because you're like, well, you don't have the experience. But sometimes that's a good thing. Like, they don't know that they're supposed to be, nervous about playing the national championship. They just go out there. They know they're on a roll. They know they're good. They know they're blowing out teams. So guess what? So you got to take all those things into consideration. And then even after all that, all the numbers, all the, this many championships, this many years, who's on a roll, who's not on a roll, who's bigger, who's faster, who shoots better, it still comes down to one game. One 40-minute game, and you get to figure out who the national champion is going to be. So I've been contemplating this. I slept on this. That was great. Got to think about it. And, if I had to pick today, which I'm going to go with Michigan minus 6.5 to win the national championship. And then we will start looking ahead to who's going to be the next national champion. So looking forward to that. But that's my pick. I will be putting money on that. Oh, speaking of which, real quick one here. So I did put money on Illinois to win, and I put money on Michigan, both of them to cover. But I watched the women's national championship or Final Four where the two underdog teams actually won. So I also put money on UConn and Arizona. I put a parlay on that for them to win. And so UConn won, and so I had a chance to cash out, double my money, because it would actually quadrupled if Arizona was going to win as well. So actually, before the Michigan game, I said, you know what, I'll cash out, double that. And then I put one more bet with those winnings. I said, you know what, there's a halftime bet. You can say, it was Michigan by like half a point at halftime. And I was like, yep, I'll take that one. Well, they were only up by 20. So, yeah, I blew that one away. So what turned out to be a really bad call, picking Illinois over UConn, turned out to be a really great day, putting money out there because of Michigan winning those couple of games and UConn winning the early game. So I say all that to say good luck tomorrow. Hope you have a great time watching these games. Good luck on your bets. And if you bet, I hope you win a ton of money. So that's my pick. If you're watching, please like the video. I would greatly appreciate it. It does a ton of help for me. And I just continue to do this because I enjoy talking about sports and putting it out there, putting one of my thoughts out there and seeing how they compare and, if I'm on the right track. So, and if you want to subscribe, that'd be great. I'd greatly appreciate it as well, because once I put out a video, you'll get notification that's out there. So thank you, everyone. What a great basketball season. Enjoy. If you're just a basketball person, this is it until next season. But if you're a sports person like me, baseball's coming up, and we'll be jumping into that really soon. So have a great one. Good luck. See y'all.